Warfare is an incredible experience, unlike anything I've seen before, and I think unlike any kind of war film that anyone has seen before. There's a lot of films that you could probably compare it to, but not exactly to what they pulled off here. A film that's not filled with propaganda, a film that's not filled with archetypes that you'll see in many, many war films, a film that kind of drops you into an experience and you get to see what it's like during a dogfight, during a firefight, between two sets of different warring nations and some small parts of that going back and forth with each other. Most war movies will have rousing speeches. It will have the abdominal leader who can overcome anything and can be that champion for its group, or it'll have the tech guy or the funny one. But this movie doesn't do any of that. This is based on a true story, but with real people, and they feel very, very three-dimensional and real in this film. And us as an audience gets dropped right into this situation as these Navy SEALs' mission to surveil somewhere in Iraq goes terribly wrong. This movie is directed by Ray Mendoza, a man who went through this particular situation himself, and he's using the memories of himself and many of the people that survived the situation to create the film, to recreate what happened to them and the people that was in the surrounding area. And you can tell a serviceman directed this film and co-wrote it, because the movie does not Hollywood or glamorize the war veterans or what war looks like at all. It's not a bunch of slow-mo. It's not a bunch of action sequences. No one coming out of the trenches with a shield and taking anyone on their own or doing a one-man like hero run or anything like that. The movie does not dwell into any of those stereotypes. The movie also doesn't dumb down the lingo to make it easier for us to digest as people who've never been in the army. They use a lingo that the army vets talk to each other with in different codes. And if you're paying attention during the film, eventually you understand what means what and what's coming. But after a while, you really start understanding this foreign language that they speak sometimes when they say Code Bravo, Moscow, Duvy, or something like that. You understand what each thing means and what's about to come. And I gotta say, I think this is the most authentic, realistic war movie to date. And the only way they'll survive is they help each other and work together in sync. And this cast is stacked with a lot of upcoming stars, including Will Poulter, Charles Melton, and soon-to-be Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four, Joseph Quinn. That with a bunch of other people who I saw their face like, oh, I've seen you in something else, was really great. And they did a really great job embodying these war people, but none of them stood out too much from each other. And I think that was the point of the film. And they really embodied these people as realistic people who have lives, have fare. They're not just these army men that think that this is an easy thing to go through. You see them live through a lot of things in this movie that causes them fear, which I thought was very interesting. Something that we don't really get to see in a extended version in war films like that. Usually they just have to push through to get through the mission, and some moments they don't do that. And they do a great job of bringing a lot of humanity to each Navy SEAL here, and through this really horrifying situation. And what's really great about the actors and their chemistry is that it feels very lived in. These people feel like they know each other. They've been on a mission with each other before. They don't like each other sometimes. And some people favorite people more than others. That dynamic makes things very interesting as you watch the film to see how people help who, or how certain deaths affect certain people. This movie is co-directed and written by Alex Garland, one of my favorite directors doing it right now, and he brings his veteran chops here to make the movie feel intense and visceral. The movie doesn't have a deep plot. It's not about that, and it doesn't have any character arcs because it's not about anybody starting from one point or going to another. It's dropping you into this experience so you feel like a fly on the wall to watch how they react and work together and try to get out of this situation. It's less like a traditional film with a 3-act structure that you normally would watch, and more of an experience, something that keeps you fully engaged and washes over you and it consumes you as you try to figure out what's going to happen next. And part of that makes it so easy to get consumed by the film is the wonderful sound design. Just like Alex Garland's film last year, Civil War, the sound design in this film is impeccable. Every bullet, every shot felt like it was coming through the screen and inside my movie theater. Every explosion made me and everyone in my audience jump, because it was just so well done. It felt realistic and it was so sudden. And once the film really gets going, it's unrelenting, it's brutal, and it's horrifying. The character screams in this film as they feel pain, they get shot. It's gonna haunt my dreams for a week. And I guess I should give a trigger warning. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was awful. That's a terrible pun. Inappropriate. My bad. But all jokes aside, if I gotta say, if you have any sort of PTSD when it comes to gun violence, or you have served and you may have PTSD or struggle with those experiences, the authenticity and the realisticness and that sound design may be uncomfortable for you. So I just want to be cautious going into the film. The way Garland and Mendoza capture the film feels like sensory overload, especially when we get into the thick of things. It's like one continuous take from the moment we meet the Navy SEALs up until throughout the battle and the back and forth. It's like hour and 20 minutes of intensity and almost unrelenting. It's a little bit of levity here and there, but not much. It's blood, it's guts, it's wounds, it's anxiety inducing, it's a nightmare and a horrifying situation for these SEALs and the people around it. This movie doesn't do any propaganda. It's not showing the SEALs as the heroes. It's also showing the negative effects of the SEALs occupying these innocent people's homes and how it disrupts the culture and everything that was going on in the neighborhood that they decide to occupy in and stake out. Not only do you get invested in these characters surviving this situation, but you're wondering what's happening to the people around that have nothing to do with this firefight that's going on. And I think that was the most impactful part of the movie. When the movie was getting towards its end, the quietness and the peacefulness that comes, you go, what was the point of this? It just feels so pointless. All this disruption and chaos to just kind of upend a lot of people's lives. And I gotta say, the movie is not gonna be for everyone. I think if you have certain biases, especially towards war films, you may not enjoy it. You may see things in there that I possibly didn't see. I think this movie is a very neutral film in terms of propaganda and politics. Also, the film is in one location, which a lot of people don't like. And the fact that it doesn't have any character arcs or like a strong plot that you're going to, you just kind of experience this moment happening and you don't know where it's leading to, can really disrupt the traditional movie experience that you expect from a film with a 3-part act and like an overlying plot that drives you to an end. But if you're looking for something unique, realistic, raw, and authentic experience showcasing what war is really like, a real anti-war film, because I ain't signing up to be in no war after watching any of this, I think you should definitely check out Warfare. I think it's one of the best films of 2025. I think it's one of the best theatrical experiences that I've had in a long time, and I highly recommend it. Run to the theater to check it out if this is your kind of experience that you like to see. So with that said, I'm going to give Warfare a B+. Question today is, what is your favorite war film? Drop your answers down below and let me know. And you can watch my content right now.